The ocean stretched endlessly, a shimmering blue expanse that mirrored my uncertainty. I had booked the cruise on a whim, needing an escape from the suffocating routine of my life. At 29, I was successful, independent, but inexplicably lonely. The idea of 10 days at sea, far from reality, had felt like the perfect remedy. The ship was a floating paradise, elegant dining halls, pools that glittered under the sun, and music drifting through the air. But nothing could have prepared me for what would happen aboard this vessel. I met him on the second night. It was a moonlit evening, and I had chosen to dine alone on the deck, letting the cool breeze play with my hair. That's when I noticed him. A man with the dark, thoughtful eyes and a quiet confidence that drew attention without effort. He sat 2 tables away, sipping his drink, completely engrossed in the horizon. When our eyes met, something flickered in the air between us. A spark, an unspoken invitation. He was the first to break the silence. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" he said, gesturing toward the ocean. I smiled, nodding. "It makes everything else seem so small." He moved to my table, and we talked for hours. His name was Daniel. He was charming, intelligent, and kind. He made me laugh in a way I hadn't in years. I didn't ask if he was married. I didn't want to know. We kept running into each other, or perhaps we sought each other out. Long walks along the deck, stolen conversations over morning coffee, dancing under the stars. The attraction between us was undeniable, yet there was always a hesitation in his eyes, as if he were holding something back. It wasn't until the 4th night that he finally told me the truth. "I need to be honest with you," he said softly, as we stood by the railing, the waves crashing below. "I'm married." His words hit me like a cold wave, stealing my breath. A part of me had known, but hearing it made it real. I should have walked away, but I didn't. Instead, I whispered, "I know. We promised ourselves we wouldn't cross any lines. We swore that our connection would remain innocent, but emotions don't obey rules. Every touch, every lingering glance, every accidental brush of our fingers ignited something deeper. One night, after a breathtaking dance on the ship's deck, he cupped my face in his hands, and for a moment, the world around us ceased to exist. "I shouldn't feel this way," he murmured. "Neither should I." And yet, when his lips met mine, I didn't pull away. Guilt shadowed our happiness. He spoke of his wife, how she was a good woman, how he never meant to betray her. But still, he kept coming back to me. We stole moments when no one was looking, whispered secrets into the night. It was intoxicating and terrifying, knowing we were walking a dangerous line. Then on the 8th night, the storm came, both in the sky and in our hearts. The ship rocked violently, the wind howling through the decks. Rain lashed against the windows as the passengers huddled inside. Daniel and I found shelter in a quiet corner, our emotions as turbulent as the sea. "I can't do this," he said suddenly, his voice raw. "I love my wife." The word shattered me, but I had known this moment would come. "I never asked you to leave her," I whispered, though my heart ached with every syllable. He looked at me, torn between guilt and longing. "This can't be forever." I nodded, I know. And just like that, we became two strangers again. On the final night of the cruise, I stood alone on the deck, watching the horizon. The ship would dock in the morning, and this story, our story, would become nothing more than a memory. Daniel found me one last time. "I'll never forget you," he said softly. I smiled through my tears. "Nor I you." There was no grand farewell, no final kiss, just a lingering touch of hands, a silent acknowledgement of what we had shared. Or he walked away without looking back, and I let him go, because some loves are meant to be felt, not kept.